In this video I make two lovely tiny collaged commissions and then also work on my shop updates, so lots of product photography and printing out prints and getting everything ready for a shop update. So there's a mix of art and shop stuff in this video. The start of the video is all art and the second half is all shop. Speaking of shop, this is my shop update. I will link my Etsy shop in the description if you want to have a nosy. Okay, jumping straight into a new video, I'm working on a little collage of elephants for a tiny little commission for a top tier Patreon member. So I've got this tiny baby one. This one's so small, it's like I can barely get any detail on there. That's as much as I can get. I might be able to get an eyeball on, but it's probably, if I do that, I'll do it with pencil because it's just trying to cut out an eye that small in paper is impossible. It was small enough on this one. So I'm going to have them, the baby, like holding the tail. I did try for a while to do like a sunset, because originally I was going to have it this way around, because in the reference picture I've got for inspiration there's a sunset in the background and it's more like that, and then the baby is kind of nestled in. But I just feel like you can't really see it that well and it's kind of getting a bit lost. So I need it to be this way around, and if I'm having it this way around, then I might as well have them kind of like that so you can see the silhouettes properly. So this is my tiny sun. It's got the littlest gradient on, which I think looks really cute. So that's going to go there. Then I'm going to cut out loads of these kind of shapes. Sorry, my hands are a mess. I've obviously been painting. And then I'm going to have that kind of gradient down. So there's a bunch of them shapes like yellow and slowly going down to more of like a darker red. A few silhouettes of trees. Keep the ground quite simple because that's kind of what the ground is like in, well, imagine Africa. And that's what I'm working on today, and there's lots to do today as well. I've got Patreon prints to send out, I've got to package up originals to send out as well. Okay, I actually have to put my elephant collage on hold for a bit, because I realised I've got to go to the post office because they pick up the post at 5 o'clock, so I like to go kind of just before 5 so they're not waiting in the box for ages. But I've got to send out these free originals today. It was bittersweet because I love them so much. It's hard saying goodbye to them, but equally, like, what am I going to do with them? I've got enough art already, so these are all getting sent off. These are getting sent to one person. I love how these turned out. And then these two are going to two separate people. So I need to package them up along with the print from last month. So this was last month's Patreon print. These guys who get the originals in the top tier get an original collage of whatever they want along with the print of the month. Okay, let's package this one first. Give it a final once over, check everything's glued down. Wipe any dust off the back. I mean, it's just going to happen with an original. You're going to get some stuff on the back of it. I start a collage with a clean piece of paper, and by the end of it, I turn it round and this has happened. Not sure how it happens, but it always happens. Pop in a little thank you note. Every month there's a different thank you note as well. It's always just a sketch, black and white sketch. Okay, they're all packed up, so I'm going to sort out postage labels, go to the post office and carry on with this guy, and then tomorrow I'll probably be packaging this guy up and sending it as well. And I also need to make another one of some, there's so many originals to make. I'm going to have to at some point, if they start becoming more popular, put in like a limit on how many I do each month, because this month I've had 5, which is just about as much as I can handle. Well, to be honest, one of those 5 had 3 originals in it, so I've done 7 originals. Well, this plus another will be 7, and that's, to be honest, that's a little bit too much every month because I do want to achieve other things within the month as well. Okay, it's now Tuesday and I'm moving on. Oh, I finished my elephant. So I'm going to package this up today. Hopefully I'll finish this one and I can package them up at the same time and take them to the post office together. So I'm doing my final ASICS commission of the month. Technically it was for last month, but it kind of has crept over into November. This is a continuation of the last Fox piece I did. I'll pop it up on screen. I made this for my longest top tier member, Christine, and she really likes it. So for this month, she wants like a continuation of this theme to make it into a series. So I've decided I'm going to do the fox close up. Luckily I still have the exact same fox reference picture that I used for that one. So I can basically, my plan is to do the fox, but this time much closer up and in a lot more detail. I find it easiest to sketch it out first. So I've spent the past like half an hour sketching out this fox, and then what I do is I trace it. So I've traced over my sketch and I've kind of outlined where the lights and the darks are. And this is going to help me when I'm collaging to make sure I cut out the perfect shape, because I know that if I've cut out a shape that's the same as my sketch, then it's going to look good. Because if I was to try and freehand cutting out the shape of the fox, it would be a nightmare. Now I have a nice sketch. My plan is to collage that big, and also by like sketching out first, like I can see with this tracing paper now how big it's going to be on the finished piece of paper, because you don't want to like kind of freehand an animal and then you've made it and it's like way too big for your piece of paper or way too small. I've gone through my paper piles in my folders and I've picked out the appropriate colours for a fox. This should hopefully be enough of colour variety and texture options to make the fox. I've got all my little bits there and some bigger bits here. Hello, just popping in to say hello, as all my lovely Patreon members' names pop up on screen, and thanks to everyone on Patreon who supported me. I've actually been doing, this month marks the year anniversary of launching my Patreon. It's mad to think I've been doing it for a year. I've made 12 Patreon prints, I've made a bunch of videos, I think there's maybe like 30 videos on there now, maybe a few more, 32. And they're all pretty good videos. And yeah, basically the longer you do Patreon, the more stuff there is on there, obviously. That makes a lot of sense. But it means that like people joining now instantly get access to like a whole year's worth of content, whereas people who joined me at the beginning, they were, thank you very much for those people, because they didn't really know what they were getting themselves in for, because there was like maybe 2 videos on there at the start. So thank you to anyone who's been here for the whole time, because there are a few people, I notice the names that pop up every month, so thank you to the people who have been a member from the very start and the people who have been a member at any point whenever. But yeah, it's been a whole year, so that's pretty cool, I suppose. Should probably do something to celebrate that. Maybe I will. I mean, I did do an extra special sale this month. Basically, it's usually you get 10% sale off every month on Patreon, but I did a 15% sale. But maybe I should do something else. An extra long live stream or something, I don't know. Okay, I have had an exciting delivery. Not gonna lie, as you can see, already opened it. Then I was like, hold on, wait, no, I should probably be filming this. It is a neon light. I had an email from a company called Lamomo. I'm going to assume is how you say it. They asked if I wanted a custom neon sign, and I was like, ooh, wouldn't mind if I do, don't mind if I do. What made this one very enticing to me is that I could design the thing from scratch. So this is obviously I went for scissors because I thought, what's something, I didn't want to do words, and I thought, what's something that's kind of like my brand, what people know me for, which will look cute in the art studio. And I thought, well, I collage, I'm always holding a pair of scissors. This pair of scissors has been my exclusive pair of scissors. I've had these since childhood actually, so my whole life, I suppose. So I thought I would get some scissors. So I drew this design out myself, digitized it and sent it over. So I think this should peel off. Ooh. Okay, and there you go. It comes with all the different methods to attach it to the wall. You can hang it or you can drill it in. And then I went for the option for just sticky hooks because we're renting this place. I can't be drilling holes. I'm planning on putting it right there. I think that'd be a lovely little spot for it. Here are some sketches I did of the scissors because obviously I designed it myself. Took a few attempts because scissors really confuse me which way like the blade goes. Once I finally wrapped my head around that, I took a picture of it and then I kind of digitized it on Photoshop using like the shape tools and the line tools to make it super pristine, and that's what I sent off. I kind of wanted the scissors to look exactly like how I would collage them in real life, and then I just sent that design over. You can also just do words and change it. There's a bunch of different text options on the website and different wall mounting options, loads of different colours, and there's also just preset designs on there as well if you don't want to design anything yourself. But yeah, so I had fun designing that, picking out my colours. I went for warm white in the end because I went for warm yellow is what I went for, and it's so cozy in here now. The camera really doesn't do it justice, but it's just creates this really warm glow in the corner and it looks so cool. I'm really happy with it. Anyway, that's Lomomo. I will link their website in the description if you fancy a nosy at them, getting yourself a neon light, and thank you very much for sponsoring this video. I forgot to mention they also sent me a discount code, so you can get 15% off of a neon light if you want to buy one. This is the code to use. Alright, moving on. My new stickers have arrived. They arrived yesterday. I unwrapped them with so much haste. I forgot to film it. I completely forgot that I was even making a video about the shop update. I was just excited to open some stickers. I'm so happy with how they turned out. When I first opened them, I must admit, these two, I was a bit like, oh gosh, oh no. I was a bit hesitant about these two when I first saw them, just because they have been printed a little bit more saturated than I originally hoped they'd be printed. But you know what? With some fresh eyes, I think they look fine. It's just because I obviously know what the original artwork looks like, and the original artwork is a little bit more like on the yellowy side and it's a bit more muted, whereas these are more pinkish and saturated, which at first was a shock, but now I actually kind of like it. I think they actually look quite good. So with some fresh eyes, I've come to the conclusion that these are pretty good. So maybe it was a kind of a happy accident that they got printed more saturated than I hoped. This guy is just the happiest little chap. He is precious. And then I got this set of free sea creatures, which will match the set of free prints that they go with. So there's a matching print with each of these stickers. I'm going to sell them as a set, but then you can also get them individually as well. I'd say these are the biggest stickers I sell, these butterflies. So I didn't want to go too big with them because I just feel like most of my stickers are really big. I sell mainly big stickers. I just wanted to, you know, broaden my my scale of sticker so there's more smaller options, because sometimes, like say if I wanted to stick this on my sketchbook, I mean, it fits, but it's a little bit big, to be honest. So I tend to go for the smaller ones for my sketchbooks. Like this guy right here, he is one of my favourite stickers I've ever made. So these are more like medium-sized stickers I've gone for this time, and then the axolotl is quite small. So these are going to be sold together. Axolotl on his own. These will be sold as a set, but also individual. And then these also have matching prints. Okay, so I have ordered a bunch of these boxes, which should allow me to send A3 prints. Let me practice folding one. I was doing a bunch of research into like A3 packaging, and most of it is tubes with plastic end caps, and I didn't really want plastic end caps, but then if you get the ones which are biodegradable, then it's just really expensive. But then I found these, which are good because they come flat pack, so take up less space, and they're more expensive than the one with the plastic end cap tubes, but they're less expensive than the biodegradable plastic tubes, so they were good in between. It cost £50 for 100 of them, which means they're around 50p each. I don't think that was too bad. I mean, they're quite expensive compared to my envelopes, but at least it means I can start offering A3 prints. So the idea is an A3 print will get rolled up inside of these. I spent the majority of yesterday taking pictures and editing them. I took these product pictures on my balcony, hunched over. This fabric here was just a pair of shorts, and the shorts were quite wrinkled because I don't have an iron. So I thought, let's play into the wrinkledness of the shorts. So I kind of bent it a bit, but I ended up really liking the way that looked. It gives it a nice bit of texture. So these are all the sticker pictures I managed to take. I also took videos, but they don't look as good because there's only so much editing you can do with a video to make them nice and bright. But basically my goal is for the product pictures to look as close to the actual sticker as possible, and I feel like these do. And I have got the listings done, so they're all up, looking pretty cute. Now I'm working on the finishing touches for editing the prints. I have spent so many hours editing these prints. We're getting close to maybe 3 hours per print at this point. I think they're pretty much done now. I just need to add my signature on at the bottom, and then I'm going to test them out and print them to see how they look. And I also spent many hours editing these pieces as well, which were very big jobs because I basically had to remove all the background. You can see there how I have removed the background. Anyway, everything's edited now, so I will get printing and I'll show you how they look. I have been printing like mad, altering print settings and tweaking them, doing multiple attempts, but I finally got the perfect print settings for these guys. Because when I was first printing it, I mean, I don't know how obvious it's going to be on camera. Is it even going to show up? Maybe not. It was printing way too saturated. I mean, this still looks really nice. It's just a personal taste. I would prefer it to be slightly less saturated. So here they are with their corresponding sticker. Eee, it's all coming together. I love it. There's my little sea creature collection, I suppose. And if you're wondering why I've got loads of tape on the end of my desk, it's because I'm making corners, which are these, which are exactly what they're called. They are corners which go on the edges of prints when I send them out to make sure they don't get damaged. So I'm also making them loads of strips of paper, just scrap paper that I always save. I get the paper, well, it's more like card actually. It gets wrapped around like that with a bit of tape, which then gets trimmed. I mean, they're pretty quick to make, but when you know each order uses 4 of them, they can go down very quickly. So I'm also batch making hundreds of corners in preparation. I don't know if they'll all get used. I have no idea how many sales. Oh, I have no idea how many sales I'm going to get, but I can only be hopeful. Okay, I have just finished printing all of the new prints in the shop. I'll give you a quick little pan around of all of them. It's a bit of an odd selection of things, but I've got my sea collection, my autumn collection here with these 3, and then this one's a bit rogue, but I just thought I really like it and Christmas is on the way. I made it for Patreon a while ago, but this was the second ever Patreon print I ever made, so not really that many people got it, and I feel like it's such a shame because it's a really nice piece of art and I would like for it to live on in the shop. And I feel like enough time has passed now, like it's been a whole year. And then these 2, they go quite nicely together. So I've got these 2 prints which go together. Obviously the sea collection, the autumn collection, and then just a random one as well. Oh, this was the first ever Patreon print I ever made, and similar to this one, not many people got it because it was obviously the first print, so I thought it'd be nice to bring this one back as well. I'm not going to bring Patreon prints into the shop very often. It's going to be I only do it after at least a year has passed, and it's something that I really like. So maybe out of the 12 I make every year for Patreon, maybe 2 will end up in the shop at some point, but I don't even know if they will. So I guess these are the 2 I've chosen for this year's Patreon prints.